Fart revenge. I found out one of my old high school bully is a massage therapist, by coincidence when I was looking for a massage. I book an appointment with her tomorrow and I am lactose intolerant. I know eating chips with dip, sour cream and onion soup mix, gives me the worst farts about 12 hours after eating it. I can barely stand myself. That small massage room will smell like the worst farts for hours after I leave. I don't know if she will remember me, but I'm breaking the Geneva Convention about gas attacks over it. Jasimt. I'm only nice to a certain point, shitmouth. Sorry this is so long. When I was a senior in high school, 2006 through 2007, I got a job with two girls from class at a party supply store. Both girls' names are Jessica, so we will call them Jessica A and Jessica B. We became friends and would hang out all the time and eventually decided to take a trip to LA for a week to get away. Being the type of person I am, I took control of the itinerary, like booking the hotel and finding flights. We all decided to share a room at the hotel and decided to split it 3 ways. No problem. I asked them if they wanted me to book the hotel and they could just pay me back the next day, and they both agreed to it. Keep in mind this hotel booking came out to around $600 for the week. So I went ahead and booked the hotel, and the next day Jessica B came with cash and paid me back for her part of the hotel. Jessica A came to me and said she forgot her money but she'd pay me back in class the following day. I'm pretty laid back person and didn't think anything of it, so I said no problem. The following day comes and she tells me she only has $20 in her purse right now and that her money was left in her other purse, so she didn't have it. I figured okay, no problem, no big deal, I'm going on a trip with her so I know she'll eventually pay me back. Throughout the next few days Jessica A kept giving me excuses as to why she didn't have the money, and I started to get irritated but let it slide, thinking she's waiting for her paycheck to be able to pay me back. I always try to give others the benefit of the doubt and think they're good people. So Friday, payday comes along and I didn't see her that day, but we were leaving for our trip on Saturday. We all met up at the airport and got on the plane, and I ended up sitting next to Jessica A, so I asked her if she would be able to pay me back because I'm counting on using that money during the trip. She said absolutely, the money was in the bag in the overhead bin, so she'd pay me once we got to the hotel. We get to the hotel, and both Jessicas decided to go out right away. I stayed back for whatever reason. Still no money. The next day we decided to go to the boardwalk. I saw a hat at a vendor that I really liked and wanted to get it, so I asked Jessica A if she could give me the cash she owed me so I didn't have to use my card for a cheap purchase, and she said she doesn't have it with her. Getting extremely irritated at this point. We walk by the water. It was December and super cold. Jessica A thinks it's funny to push me into the water. So there I am in 30-degree weather with my clothes soaking wet, and we were about 40 minutes from the hotel. With no concern about me freezing my ass off, they decide to get food. I sat with them but couldn't eat because it was just too cold and I wanted to go back to the hotel. Fast forward, we get to the hotel and go to sleep. The next morning I wake up with the absolute worst cold I have ever had in my life. I actually think it was something more severe than just a cold because I could hardly move. I managed to get myself up and walk to the store to get tissues because neither Jessica's would do it for me. They told me to get it myself. I spent the next 3 days in bed with a trash can by my side, boxes of tissues, etc. All the while the two Jessicas are going out exploring LA. Finally, the day before flying home, Jessica A comes into the room by herself and I said, "Hey, I really need the money you owe me. I've been waiting for a while and you just keep giving me excuses." And she says to me, "I don't have it with me right now." And so I bluntly said, "Your bag is laying on the floor and there's a wad of cash in there, Jessica. Just pay me back. You owe me $200. I wouldn't care if it was $5 bucks, but $200 is a lot and I need the money." She gets livid. Goes into her purse, grabs the money and physically throws it in my face. I am sick as a fucking dog and this bitch decides to throw it in my face. I stood up and I told her to fucking pick up the money and hand it to me. I think she was scared of me hitting her because I wasn't afraid to, and I had my crazy eyes on and wouldn't give a shit if I hit her. She picked up the money, handed it to me and went to the bathroom. I counted the money and she was $20 short, so when she walked out, I told her she still owed me $20. Pissed off, she grabs the $20, smacks it into my hand and stomps out of the room. Hey. Whatever. I got my money back and she was being a fucking bitch for not paying me back. After she left, I go get ready for bed and can tell this bitch just took a dump because it smelled awful. I saw she also left skid marks in the toilet. So I went into her bag, grabbed her toothbrush and took it upon myself to clean the skid marks with her toothbrush. Without washing it, I put it back in her bag and went to bed. I can honestly say I have never felt more content in my life than when I watched her brush her teeth in the morning. I took a cab to the airport and ditched both Jessicas at the hotel to deal with checkout and pay the bills for the porn they decided to rent because they thought it was funny. Needless to say, I never spoke to Jessica A again and grew apart from Jessica B. No one ever found out about the toothbrush, but I wish to hell that someday she finds out. So Jessica, if you're reading this, you're a fucking skeezy shitmouth and I'd do it again in a heartbeat.